been to lots of places, you're quite jaded, and nothing is very surprising. There's a voice in my heart that tells me, you can't do that. You must say that everything is surprising. You must be surprised by everyone, by all the things you see, all the people you meet. And I've been traveling, just even within India. I went to Goa, for instance, this summer, and I've been to Goa more times than I probably had hot dinners. But I went to Goa in the monsoons, I sat on the beach, I looked at the birds, and that was inspiring, that was surprising. So I think the message of this book is to find pleasure in little things, to understand the little joys of life, not to care that much about the big picture, because you have no control over the big picture. The small picture is yours.
Right. So what subjects which you mentioned your parents think of the book?
I don't know. I mean, it's been surprising that many people, everyone who's actually interviewed me for this book, and I've done a lot of them, everyone has asked about my parents. For those of you who haven't read the book, and I hope you will soon, it begins with my childhood and the circumstances in which I was born. My parents had a very romantic, I suppose, love story in that my father was very lower middle class. My mother was super rich in Ahmedabad. My father was a communist. My mother's father, hated the idea of this communist poor boy coming near his daughter. But my mother persisted and wanted the relationship to happen. And she was well educated. That sent her off in the 1940s to America. She'd been to Michigan University, to Purdue University. So she got a job in Bombay, and she made quite a lot of money in that job, which is not difficult. She was living in a flat her father had bought her, so she had no expenses. But she saved all that money, and one fine day in 1951, my parents eloped. My father went on ahead to Paris, which he was covering some UN conference allegedly, and my mother took a ship and went off to Paris, met him, and they had this incredibly romantic wedding. My mother, having got there, told my father, who was a communist and didn't believe in all this stuff,